evening. This is Lynette, your transformational life coach, and I just want to share some reflections with you. So, one thing that I have observed from coaching, counseling, working with women is that women often they see other women being blessed abundantly, receiving their transformations. They see like the miracle that God gives them, and they do it in a passive way instead of actively pursuing God. So the same God that has worked a miracle in her life, or the person that they're passively watching, is the same God that you also have access to, the same God you have direct access to. So don't passively observe, but passionately pursue. And we know that God is real. We feel it. We have a sense of purpose. And a lot of times when we're connecting with that feeling and with that knowing, we connect with it from a futuristic perspective. So, like a lot of women will say, I know my purpose in 3 years is this, or I know God is leading me on this long journey here. And sometimes we disconnect ourselves from the right now. And that's what I want to reconnect you with, is the right now. So whatever is going on right now, which is a whole lot, I just want to encourage you that despite of whatever you're experiencing, despite of that thing, God can use you right now. So despite of job loss, despite of grief, despite of whatever is in your bank account, despite of a diagnosis, whatever that may be, despite of issues going on within your family, within your home, with those that you love outside of your home, despite of doubt, despite of any imperfections or inadequacy that you may feel, or any tremendous obstacle, like despite of all of that, God can use you right now. And I have learned, and I know as true, that any inadequacy that we have is really God's opportunity to work within us. And a lot of times society really points us in the direction of being independent, when truth be told, we must, like, we were designed to be dependent upon God. And that's really where our next miracle lies. So I encourage you to think about how God can use you right now and get ready for that. Like, you don't have to wait until 2021. That's ridiculous. You don't have to wait 3 years, 5 years. Like, God can use you right now, and work a miracle within a miracle. I'm a miracle. You're a miracle. And on a daily basis, I want to see God work in my life. And I wish the same for you. And I hope you know that that's true. That can be true for you as well. So, one scripture that I want to share, which is on my door so I can see it every day, is John 15:5, which states, I am the vine, you are the branches. If any man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So, again, looking at our dependence and our need for God in our lives, regardless and despite of what we perceive or what our experience is. So, in working with several clients, the top three things that I feel keep them stuck: fear, resistance, and comfort. So I'm going to repeat that again because you need to hear it twice. Is fear, resistance, and comfort. So God and God can and will use you in the right, like right now, but you have to be willing to surrender and move through your fear, resistance, and comfort. I'll share with you. There's one particular job that I was at in a season in my life where I was at this particular job and I did not feel purposeful to my fullest extent. And in a lot of the jobs that I've worked, I knew I needed to be here. I felt every single day 100% like within my purpose. And this one particular job that I was at, I didn't feel that. And I felt like I was just spinning my wheels. And it was a horrible feeling, um, because I know the feeling that I get when I'm in alignment with my purpose 100%. And during this season of my life, God was really preparing me and teaching me a lesson like I need to surrender the right now. And I kept asking God, like, I want what's next. Like, I want the next level of purpose. I want, you know, X, Y, and Z, which I've gained, but in that season, God wanted me to, that's where He had me. And I didn't feel purposeful, but I set aside time, a lot of time, to pray about it and to really say, okay, God, I may not want to be here, but you have me here for a reason. So after praying, a very short time after spending time praying about it and really saying, okay, God, here I am, I saw the miracles happening nonstop. I started to pray, all right, God, use me where I am. I'm willing to say what you need me to say. I'm willing to show up how you want me to show up and represent you, and just use me as a vessel. And literally everything changed. So on a daily basis, I was waking up excited and passionate, and I knew that my steps were ordered. And literally in the same position, in the same place, it was a completely different experience. So I had to surrender. I first had to get over myself. Second of all, I had to surrender and say, okay, God, wherever I may be, use me. And that's the same thing applies. Like, I may be able to, I may be used by God in the grocery store. Like, wherever you are right now, like, whatever that inadequacy is, surrender it. Like, there's no, it doesn't belong in your hands to begin with. Like, surrender it. And I promise that your life will be changed. I promise that that's the best place of surrender to be, because that's when God will use you beyond what you think can happen in your right now. Like, God can use you right now despite of whatever your despite of is, just set it aside. And I encourage you to take this, process it, surrender to God, and change the world.